Colorado takes on Houston in their Big 12 opener, and we still do not know who's starting at quarterback for Colorado. Who's starting at QB? We don't know.
Staub's going to start. He got all the 1 reps. But honestly, I said this on my show yesterday, 0 to 60. We're on today at noon, Bailey and I don't think it should matter if we're going to listen to what Coach Prime has been trying to tell us. Like, the team's supposed to be better. The O-line's supposed to be bigger and better. They're supposed to be able to run the ball, which they're putting 140 yards rushing out as opposed to 65 yards rushing last year, so that's good. They're supposed to be deeper at every position. Now, I don't know if that's true necessarily after 2 games. We'll see. But the rest of the team needs to elevate this and support whomever plays at quarterback. If it's Salter, they need to run the goddamn ball. And, Coach, maybe you can help me with this, but look, Pat Schumer's been an OC forever. I know he gets a bad rap, but he's got the job and he keeps getting jobs for a reason, and it's not blackmail. Byron Marshall Falk's there, Andre Gerard's there, Gunner and Hang and all these dudes, right? Plus Coach Prime, plus all the defensive heads. Why is it that the offense looks the same for Salter than it does for Juju and Staub? Because they're all different players. If Salter's going to play, they got to run the football with that cap more. It needs to be more direct 11-on-11 quarterback run game like Georgia Tech did to us, like Delaware tried to do. If Juju plays, essentially what you're saying is the season is an experiment, and we're just trying to get the young guy reps, okay? And I don't know, with 38 seniors on this roster, if that's the way to go. I think you'll lose your team. That said, he's the future of this program, and it's probably best for him to sit, develop, learn, and try and compete next year with Staub for the starting job in camp and hopefully beat him out because he's a 5-star number 1 quarterback in the country. 16, Staub is a vet. He's been there. He was on the 1-11 team. I mean, he's a holdover. He's probably the last holdover on that squad. Mike Sanford, who's a great friend of mine, Valor High School head coach now, who was the intern guy, brought him in. He was one of the last players recruited in that class, kind of a diamond in the rough. And I love his resiliency and the fact that he's hung around. And we always say this, when they do this, you got to be ready to answer the door. And when they knocked, and he was like, yeah, I'm ready to go in, and went in there and balled. So I don't really care who plays. Whoever plays, I want them to get all the reps with the ones. I do not want them to come out of the game unless they're hurt, because a quick trigger with a quarterback and everybody rotating, I think, can cause a lot of psychological damage to these young cats rather than just the physical aspects. Look at Salter and Juju on the sideline. Juju knows he's young and in a rotation, and you can kind of see it on his face like, well, that didn't go well. But Salter looks like he's angry, and he looked mad as hell on the sideline of the Delaware game because he got pulled, and I don't really know what he got pulled for. So I think 16 will start. We will see what happens this evening. Willie Fritz is a really good coach. Houston is no pushover. They are going to play their balls off. This is a huge game for them, and there's a lot of Colorado fans going to be at the game. So we'll see what happens, man. But the rest of the team needs to really, really, really significantly support the quarterback position this evening, to say the least.
Willie Fritz, a good friend of mine, obviously. I think he's one of the top 10 coaches in football. He rebuilds everywhere he goes. I think Houston's going to be better. Here's the issue. I gotta be honest. The reason you probably don't do what you asked with the 3 QBs and changing the offense, number one, every time you change a formation, as you know, Matt, it changes the front. And I don't know if their O-line is ready for how many defensive fronts they're going to face versus the offensive, deployment that we're going to put in. So we're going to run the football. And then now if you stay in the same formation and that's all you prep and all you do is tag some things and add some QB run game, that's easy. We can all do that. If you can't do that, then you shouldn't be playing in D1. So I get that part. But if we're going to change the offense for 3 QBs, it's going to be tough, man, especially on the O-line, in my opinion. When you got a band of mercenaries, too, every college does, when you don't have the same O-lineman every semester and you got to redo it all, and it's tough. That's just would be my mindset right now in college football if I had to deal with that.
I would say this to that. Yeah, it would probably be a little hard, but this is Coach Prime says it. We are prepping you at this place for the NFL. That's why you came here. And this is what the NFL is. If you can't walk in with 5 new guys and show them that you can play, you ain't going to be there for very long, so figure it the fuck out. So I'm just saying, I've just wondered why, and they could have done this all offseason too. There's not a distinct, at least, package of plays, why they're not running Wildcat with Salter, while they're not doing certain things that a Georgia Tech and heavy quarterback run teams do. You know, in the first opener, Hayes King had 19 carries. You know, Salter had 13 and 11 of them were scrambles. That's what I'm talking about. So just at least generating a Tyson Hill package for Salter at CU so he can still get run, and then running the regular offense through Staub and Juju. You know, I think it can be done. It's just a matter of, you know, implementing it, teaching it, articulating it to everybody, and moving forward. So tonight's like a fork in the road game for CU, bro. And it's year 3 at Houston. Your road dogs. Okay, they're home favorites. The rest of the Big 12, I'm not saying it's down, but I don't know how good it is. Like Iowa State beat Iowa. That's a rivalry game. They're 3-0. Kansas State is struggling. They just lost to Army at home, for God's sakes. Good congratulations to Army and Jeff Mogan, but, you know, like that's a bad loss. Arizona State went to Mississippi State. I called that one, thought they would lose. They did. They came back but still lost. There's blood in the water in the Big 12, and every team is getting a taste of it. They're all circling. So this is a fork in the road game for CU, Coach Prime, everybody. You know, you go down to Houston and put up 40 points and feel good about yourself coming home to go mop up Wyoming, and then you've got BYU sitting at 3-1 and all your goals in front of you, 1-0 in conference. So lose this game and struggle, and it's all of the things that Coach Prime and his staff do that are unconventional are going to be turned on them in the media immediately. We know this.
Oh, Sark just had it too. That's why I brought it up the other day. I was like, make sure we're fair now, because the questions Sark gets asked are the same questions that people, you know, call the media in the Colorado weak for Prime. I think it's weak everywhere. I don't question anybody.
I don't mean to cut you off on that one, but I've been talking about this on my show with Bailey for 2 weeks now. I think, and I'm saying this from a place of giving a shit, okay? And I'm also amazed. Coach Prime has figured out how to make the press conferences just to hang out. Yeah. The Colorado media doesn't want to lose access or get blackballed if they say or ask the wrong question. They watched Sean Keeler get kicked out. He kicked out CBS. Well, now it's all friends in there, and they lob the questions, and they ask softball questions, and it's very like, well, you see the way that the press conferences are. It's back and forth and laughing, and I'm not telling you all that and this and all blah, blah, blah. And the media doesn't care about doing it right. They just want to be first. He plays the media like a fucking fiddle, and he's got them massaged into thinking that they're friends. Like the media people in Boulder think that they're friends with Coach Prime. He's a colleague, perhaps, but he ain't your friend. Mm-hmm. So I've questioned like who in the media is going to ask the hard questions when they need to be asked, if they need to be asked. So we'll see how that goes. But bro, everywhere it's just like I feel like the media everywhere is softball questions, and they don't really press coaches, and when they do it in a way that is almost like talking down to the coach. And then what do you expect Sarkisian and Prime and guys like that to do? Just sit there and take it? No, they're going to defend themselves. So we'll see how it goes, man.